Black woman CEO seat hijacked by white man. Only 5 minutes later, flight is halted. Before we dive into this story, hit the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's see how far this story reaches. If you like the video, please subscribe. She boarded first, won a first class. She earned it. But when she returned from the restroom moments later, her seat was taken by a white man already sipping champagne. "You must be in the wrong cabin," he said, smirking. The flight attendant didn't question him. Instead, she asked her to move. Passengers watched. Some snickered. Others looked away. What they didn't know. The woman they were humiliating was the CEO of a global aviation company. And she wasn't about to let it slide. 5 minutes later, the entire flight was grounded. Watch until the end. Dr. Aaliyah Monroe wasn't just successful, she was exceptional. At 39, she'd climbed the ranks to become CEO of Aerolink Technologies. This firm powered onboard systems for most major airlines. This trip? Strictly business. Her team had just closed a multi-million-dollar deal, and she was heading home first-class ticket in hand. She'd boarded early, placed her bag in the overhead bin, and stepped away to take a call before takeoff. When she returned, her seat was taken. A white man lounged there confidently. "I think you're mistaken," Aaliyah said, pointing to her boarding pass. "He didn't even look. They usually put you people in the back." "Worse?" The flight attendant sided with him. "Ma'am, maybe just let it go? We're trying to depart on time." The cabin went silent. Aaliyah stared at them. All eyes were on her, waiting to see if she'd shrink. But Aaliyah didn't shrink. She picked up her phone, rising ACT on within seconds. Aaliyah dialed a private number. She spoke quietly but firmly. "There's a situation on flight 827. Cabin crew permitting discriminatory behavior. I need full hold on departure. No yelling, no theatrics. Just precision." The man in her seat chuckled. "What, calling your husband? Or your boss?" The flight attendant began apologizing, but not to Aaliyah. "Sir, can I offer you a drink while we sort this out?" Moments later, the intercom buzzed. "Ladies and gentlemen, we've been instructed to halt all takeoff procedures due to an executive override request. Please remain seated." Confusion rippled through the cabin. Aaliyah opened her tablet. A single swipe revealed her ID digital credentials confirming her executive-level clearance with the Aviation Authority. The pilot emerged from the cockpit. "Dr. Monroe?" he asked. "We've received an operational freeze from the Aerolink board." "You're the CEO?" She nodded calmly. The white man stood, suddenly sheepish. "I didn't know who you were." "You didn't care who I was," she corrected, "until Power walked in wearing heels." The flight attendant's face turned pale. The cabin crew had no choice but to make a formal announcement. By updated aviation protocol, Flight 827 is being reassigned to a new departure window. We sincerely apologize to Dr. Monroe for the disruption. Aaliyah returned to seat 1A. No one dared speak. Even the man who'd insulted her now stood behind her in silence, reassigned to economy. She didn't gloat. She didn't glare. She opened her laptop and got to work, because dignity didn't need to raise its voice. The man, now red-faced, leaned toward her and muttered, "I didn't mean to offend." She looked at him once. "It's not about offense. It's about assumptions." The rest of the flight crew avoided eye contact. Passengers whispered. And the jet, which had once dismissed her, now waited because of her. The systems running the plane's navigation, seat protocols, and even its security alerts were all built by her company. For once, the world had to pause and acknowledge where the real power sat. Aaliyah didn't file a public complaint. She didn't post online. She believed in quiet accountability, but Aerolink quietly sent mandatory inclusion, training requirements to every partner airline. The flight attendant was removed from duty pending review. The passenger? Banned from the airline for misconduct. What Alia wanted wasn't revenge. It was recognition that black women do belong in every room, every seat, every cabin. Because true power isn't loud, it's undeniable. This wasn't just a moment. It was a message. Respect isn't optional. Where are you watching from? What city? What country? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And share this story because the world still needs to be reminded. Never judge a woman by her seat. She might own the whole plane. Take care.